Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today. If you want to follow along, just open your Bible. We are in the first chapter of the book of Genesis. As you do that, if you would, like, share, comment on the post, and then we will look at the next act of creation. Verse 6 says, "And God said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day." So here we have the second day of creation. Earth is still basically a water-covered ball. Is what it is then, of all kinds of liquid and covered in water, mist, fog. It's just kind of a mess, just of a without form or and void, I guess you would say. And God looks at it and says, well, the first thing we've got to do if we're going to have life here is we have to divide this. We have to make a place for life. We have to make a place where there is a place to live. And so, once again, demonstrating His great power. And one of the things that I take away, and you're going to hear this over the coming days, is that when I look at the story of creation, the awesome power that God demonstrates in the act of creation. Again, just simply by His word, His spoken word, do these things happen. We see man today do many things. I think about how I've read things and seen things about the Mississippi River here in the United States, and how over the years man has tried to build levees and different things to control and even divert the Mississippi into a different direction. And yet, ever so many years, we see a huge rain come, and the Mississippi says, "Thanks, but no thanks. I'll go where I want to go." And we see that even on smaller scales on other rivers. Man dams them up and holds them back, and then ever so often, ever so many years, the waters come surging down and go where they want. And water is one of those things that we don't have a lot of control over. If you've ever had a water leak in your house, you know how difficult that can be. But God simply spoke, and the waters went to where He wanted them to go. And so He divides them, and He creates at that point the physical, the science, the laws, whatever the right word would be, that establishes the clouds and the mist and the waters that surrounded the earth, not just the water on the earth, but surrounded the earth to separate. And He hangs that up in the sky. And when it says here He creates creates a firmament, He calls that firmament heaven. We're not talking about the heaven, the residence of God. The word there literally means heights. The atmosphere would be, our atmosphere would be actually a good word for you and I to understand what He's saying there. He creates here the conditions necessary for life. Man could not have survived, life could not have survived with that mist, that fog, hanging over the earth. The sun wouldn't have been able to penetrate. Vegetation wouldn't have been able to grow. If nothing else, we wouldn't have been able to see the great creation of God. And so he has to separate that out and move that and hang that into the skies. Again, the space was already there. The place, again, out in the far reaches. I'm not an astronaut, so I don't know all the technical terms, but this is, again, the atmosphere around the earth, the thing that protects us. We hear all the time, well, you don't hear it so much anymore, but you used to hear all the time about the ozone layer, that atmosphere that surrounds the earth, that protects man from the direct rays of the sun, where later he will put the waters that bring the rain, again, protect us from the sunlight, bring us the rain, the snow. He's getting everything prepared for life, for us to have a place that is suitable for life. And this word that is used there when he talks about dividing is basically the word is to hammer out. He just kind of spreads out all the moisture and spreads it out to the places where he wants it, where it needs to be. So again, he does all that so that you and I will have a place suitable for living. While I'm here, let me just throw in, it's a fairly large book, but it is an excellent book. There's a book called The Genesis Record. My copy's older, it's orange. I think they've changed the color of the covers of them now, but it's written by a man by the name of Henry Morris, and it is, I believe the subtitle to it, again, it's called The Genesis Record, and I think the subtitle is something along a scientific explanation of the beginnings, something of that nature. But the Genesis Record, if you look that up, and if you want to dig deeper into this than I have time to go this morning, let me encourage that book to you. It's a good reference book, even if you don't read it from cover to cover. Just from time to time, as you think about, as questions come up about, well, what's this mean? What's this mean in the creation story? Could there really have been, this happened at creation? And he has analyzed the science and gives the evidence for the biblical account. I would encourage it to you. Again, I don't make commission if you buy books that I recommend, but that is a excellent book. I refer to it often. And so if you want to dig deeper into the creation story, let me recommend that book. Again, it's called The Genesis Record. But let's just leave you with this thought this morning. Just once again, even in this act, we see God before man was even created. It is, again, just with a spoken voice, preparing and making things ready for the prize, the crown jewel of his creation, making things ready for man. Because even in this act, he's showing his great love, his great concern for man, for you and I, by making us a place suitable for life. You have a good day. As you go about today, look around and look and see the world that God has created for you. Enjoy today. Have a good one. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.